Since so many of you are talking about leaving the country because of recent events, I decided this article was perfect for you guys from Business Insider. It's the top 10 countries with the most Americans living abroad. I'm going to make it short and sweet. This is according to the Association of Americans Resident Overseas, and it's only a rough estimate because the embassies do not keep an official registry of Americans overseas. We're going to run down the top 10. Let me know in the comments who you think which country is the number one country that Americans live in outside of the United States. If time runs out, make sure you go to my YouTube, The Carolina Diamond, and look under the international playlist. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while you're over there, bookies. Number 10 is Spain with 108,684 U.S. citizens living there. Some retirees find that their money goes a little bit further in Spain in addition to the nice lifestyle that you can live in Spain. You can get a year-long digital nomad visa. Retirees can apply for a non-lucrative visa, which allows them to live but not work in the country. 9 is Japan, the quality life, and of course the non-existent gun violence. Foreigners who want to live in Japan for 6 months can apply for digital nomad residence. If you're looking to stay longer, you can look into the visas on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs site. France has an estimated 117,462 residents of the United States living over there. They do say the visa process can be a little bit difficult. And note to Black people and people of color, racism is a hot mess over there. Okay, others have had trouble making friends and they've experienced a language barrier if they did not speak French. Just letting you know. You can go there for work or school visa. South Korea has 129,499 U.S. citizens. Universal health care and good quality of life and convenient public transportation. And there is a language barrier. There's also high housing prices, and finding employment and the distance from the United States are also not so great things. Most requirements involve work, school, or family in order for you to get approved for a visa. Now, job hunters can stay for 6 months with the possibility of extending the visa to a year. Number 6, Australia. I was really surprised. Anyway, 218,216 U.S. citizens live in Australia. It's known for its beautiful beaches and gorgeous weather, but if you're looking to live there permanently, they have a solid economy, good health care, child care stipends, and perks like retirement assistance. But one of the drawbacks is it's nearly 24 hours to travel from the east coast of the United States to Australia. Also, their weather is drier, it's hotter, and it's expected to worsen due to climate crisis. You guys remember the Australian fires? You do have immigration laws, however, they tend to favor the wealthy, giving preference to individuals with education qualifications, professional experience, and who are English speaking. The Global Talent Program offers visas to exceptionally talented and prominent individuals. So if you broke, don't even think about going over there. 5 is Germany. 238,652 U.S. citizens live there. Many American immigrants to the country found job opportunities like reliable public health care, affordable child care, and a generous amount of time off of work. Skilled workers can apply for visas and stay for 12 months while looking for a job. The country also recently eased some of its rules around obtaining citizenship. Are you surprised to see Israel on the list? I'm surprised to see Israel on the list. The 281,137 U.S. citizens live there, and it made number 4. So it's at the top of the list, you guys. They have attracted high-tech startups and wealthy individuals. Many U.S. citizens move to cities far from the conflicts that's currently going on. Those who wish to move to Israel need a visa. The country's law of return allows those with Jewish parents or grandparents to apply for citizenship even. Number 3, United Kingdom. 325,321 U.S. citizens currently live there. Now, the financial website Investopedia found that prescriptions, groceries, and rent are often cheaper in the UK compared to the US, but gas and energy prices can be higher depending on where you live, okay? Americans living in the UK who spoke with Business Insider have cited its National Health Service proximity to the rest of Europe and work-life balance as benefits for living there. The government's website provides information on settlement, which allows you to live, work, and study there for good. Number two, Canada. Did you already put down on comments who you think number one is? 1,050,898 U.S. citizens live in Canada. Americans won't necessarily find affordable housing in some of the country's larger cities like Toronto or Vancouver, but for some, Canada offers a feeling of safety, especially with the US's high rates of gun violence. Also, despite the universal health care, some transplants from the US found that there can be long waiting lists for specialists in certain treatments. So if you're saying, let me go to Canada, healthcare better, it might not be for you. Now, while the country does offer you permanent resident or citizenship, they're often tied to work or family connection. Skilled workers and entrepreneurs can apply for visas, and relatives can sponsor certain family members so they can live, study, and work in the country. On a side note, I do remember seeing a recent press conference that Canada had stating that they're definitely going to hold their medical school slots for those who are actually residents of Canada, not transplants, because they're giving out too many spots for people who are not even from Canada. So make sure you really thoroughly check it out before you live there as the reasons why you're going to go. If you guessed Mexico, you guessed it right, which is so crazy because we're supposedly throwing out all these illegal immigrants because they're so full of crime, but we going over to that country to live. 1,182,346 U.S. citizens live in Mexico. Were you surprised? Housing, groceries, and healthcare are typically less expensive than the United States, although the influx of newcomers is causing rising rents and housing shortages in some areas like Mexico City. So again, before you decide to fly on over there or across the border, you need to make sure you check it out because, yeah, we, as usual, the Americans, are impeding on somebody else's shit and causing it to go up. Many U.S. citizens obtain a temporary resident visa that allows them to live in Mexico for up to 4 years. Now, retirees looking to stay can apply for a permanent resident visa, which allows them to stay indefinitely. Also, on a side note, if you're a retiree or you're collecting Social Security disability benefits, you need to make sure to check you can still receive those even though you're living outside the United States. For instance, certain countries you cannot, like North Korea, Cuba. Sometimes if you're receiving SSI, that also may not be sent to you sometimes outside the United States. So definitely when you're researching, check with the Social Security Administration to see what the rules are for the country you're going to. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think of the list.